Today is day number 12 of driving this truck after my shady repair. So let's see, what'd you do with my keys? For Pete's sake, how many cotton picking trips does one person have to make? Well, what'd you put them there for? Crying out loud. All right, take two. It messed around and got cool out here again. All right. How's she gonna do? Like a champ. Oh, all right, let's hit this over here. I also want you to notice something else. No check engine light. So after that repair, if that's what you want to call it, a couple of days later, after the ECU made however many cycles it needs to make doing a diagnostic check, the check engine light that had been on forever went off. So this thing's sitting here running so smooth you can't hardly tell it's running if it wasn't so cotton picking loud. Alright. And this truck has been driven virtually every day since. Now, I am in no way saying that this was smart, but if it's your only way back and forth to work and you need a few days in order to gather the money to gather up the parts that you need to fix it the right way, I reckon this will work. It has so far. Now, it might tear up going down the road here in just a minute. And if it does, we'll deal with that then. I'm just saying. So I want to preface this video by saying what you're going to see in this video did not go as planned. Everything you'll see in that video is what you'll have to do in order to fix it. It's just the fix did not work. So I'll go ahead and tell you the exhaust gases leaked past the threads on the insert and burnt the side of the boot coil off, and it did that in 22 miles, one trip to work, one trip back. And I pulled the spark plug out of it for the sole intention of finding out whether or not I put that spark plug in too deep. And when I pulled the spark plug out, the insert came out with it. And so that left me with very few options. You have few options when a spark plug blows out that has already been repaired once. So there was very little that I could do to fix it. Now, my situation may not, and probably is not, going to be the situation of virtually anybody watching this video. I've owned this truck for 20 years. It has been a phenomenal truck. It has zero issues, no electrical gremlins, no rust. Structurally, it is perfect. And I have no intention of getting rid of this truck. So any money I spend on my truck is an investment. And plus, it beats the living fire out of a new car payment. So what I'm deciding to do, you might not decide to do. It may not make any financial sense to you at all. Another reason I decided to do what I did was because I had already made a parts list and got pricing on that parts list. And the expense was nowhere near what it would be 10 years ago when the very first spark plug blew out on this truck. 10 longer than that, 13, 14 years. So the price on the set of cylinder heads for that truck has virtually been cut in half of what they were. So knowing that and having that price list in the back of my head, I went ahead and took a chance that a lot of you are going to view as absolutely idiocy. And in most any circumstance, I would as well. But so what ended up having to happen after I realized that my fix didn't hold, needing a ride back and forth to work, and you know, just being jammed up, I had to put the insert and the spark plug back in. And listen here, what I did. You can laugh if you want to, but I mixed up me about 1.5 pounds of JB Weld epoxy, and I put that stuff in a turkey baster, and I stuck it all the way down to the bottom of that insert, top of that insert, and just epoxied that sucker in all the way up to the porcelain, put the coil back on it while it was wet, put the bolt back in it, put it back together, let it set the rest of the day. And I had to be at work at 3 o'clock in the morning that next morning, and I cranked that sucker up and drove it, and have been driving it ever since. So it is what it is. Enjoy the video, sit back and get you a good laugh. I'm not going to delete a bunch of footage just because something didn't work. You're going to see what I did, and now you know why it didn't work and what I did to make it work. Enjoy. Do you have a Ford Triton that's blowed a spark plug out that you've already fixed once? This video's for you. Welcome back to the channel. Man, I am tickled to death you show back up. So let's set the scene. Here we are shooting a video on rebuilding a vacuum pump for a 57 Chevrolet when all of a sudden, blam! Freaking lightning struck, catastrophe. So I am not the only one this has happened to, but dang if I can find anybody else. So I'm going to show you on the 02 F-150 or Triton engine, I'm pretty sure from 97 all the way to 08. They blow spark plugs out of them like freaking popcorn, right? All right, every one of mine have been fixed, but now we have a different problem. Now we are going to repair a repaired spark plug blowout. And I'm going to show you it can be done, and it can be done with simple tools that you probably got laying around your garage. You're not going to have to pay 500 bucks for a kit to fix this. And they charge $500 because they know you're all, you know what I mean, jammed up and hemlocked all up in a corner. So you're going to need an 11/16 long drill bit that will chuck up into your 1/2-inch drive DeWalt drill. If you got a friend, they can turn that down for you on a lathe so that it fits. You're going to need a 3/4 inch 16 tap. You're going to need, possibly, I did, a 7/16 square head socket to fit that tap. You're going to need an easy lock insert with 14 by 1.25. Outside is 3/4 by 16. You're going to need the installation tool for your easy lock insert. You will possibly need a tap that is for a spark plug, 14 by 1.25. You're going to need a long 1/2-inch drive extension. You're going to need a long 3/8 drive extension and a drill, a little bit of ingenuity, and a whole lot of go get 'em. Welcome to this episode in the garage.
what red hair means. I know you want me. Well, I want you to. What will you do? Love child, what will you do? Don't be shy, look me in the eye, girl. What's your pleasure? Is it sleep like a leather? Come, baby, please. 'Cause I'm
It is
down.
a new day, just got home from work. Oh, we gotta work on this old boy, get this thing done, because I have got to be at work at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. So this thing's got to be up and running by then. So this is not gonna be one of those, let me show you how to do this and get really in depth, because I've got to get it done and I'm gonna video it the best I can. But I'm gonna get you set up. We're gonna do some measuring real quick before we drill a hole, just to make sure. And so I'll get you set up and we'll get started. What do we got here? What's that say? About 685, something like that. What does this say? That say about 655. And 700 dead on the money. So our thread depth, let's remeasure this again real quick. Our thread depth is sitting at 698 of our tap, and our thread depth for our insert is sitting about 3,000 smaller. So we are in good shape. Now we'll check and make sure that we have the right thread count. And we're just basically gonna do that right there. Dead on the money. All right, let's go drill a hole. So I've got you in there as good as I can get you. I'm gonna dip this drill bit into grease. And with any luck, we catch the majority of the shavings, but I gotta be honest with you, I'm really not that worried about it. Now, this thing does not set in here. The hole doesn't go straight up and down. It's leaned towards the left side of the car and forward towards the front of the car. So we're gonna try to get it as centered in that hole as possible. All right, I'm gonna get a light and shine down in there and we'll see what we got. I'm gonna try to get you in here so you can see what I'm seeing. Just ignore this for now. All right, so we have a hole and it looks like it's all the way through and it looks good and round. So I'm pretty happy for now. The grease looked like it worked. caught all of our junk for the majority of it anyway. So I've got the 3/4 16, I believe is what that is. 3/4 16, yeah. And so it's too big for my tap sockets. The shank is too big, the square is too big. But I do have 8-point sockets, which I have very seldom ever used. They come in handy when it comes time to take plugs out of rear ends and stuff like that, have square heads. Anywho, if you take this 7/16 square, fits right in there, perfect. So what I'll do is I'll just tape this together, and that way get my tap back out of it. Simple as that. We got grease on our tap. Hopefully it works as good this time as it did last time. All right, let's reach down in here and try our best to get this as straight as we can. It's not going to be perfect, I can assure you. And we should be able to go through this with one go. As we had, I forget the number right now, about, what was that, 60 or 70 thousandths worth of thread depth. And plus, it's not like we're having to tap through 1.5 inches of material, which is the problem with these Triton engines, whether you're talking about the 5.4, the 4.6, or the V10. They all have exactly the same problem. Up till, like I said earlier, I think up till around 08. I could be wrong. You Ford guys probably straighten that out. But they all blow spark plugs out of them because they don't have enough meat to put enough threads to secure the spark plug. Let's back it up just a little bit, just to cut those shavings off. We're not in a real big hurry right now. What I do need to do, I guess would be a good idea, see if I can spot the piston and see how much clearance we have between the bottom of the cylinder head and the top of the piston. Make sure that we're not driving this tap into the top of the piston, because it did get a little bit hard right then. So right now we're about that deep, and plus, look there, it'd be a good idea to go ahead and get all that extra stuff off there. All right, I'll bring you back when I get it cleaned up, and we'll start tapping again. So y'all have to forgive the camera moving around. The wind is blowing it everywhere, and like I said, I don't have a lot of time to spend on this, just a few hours. But I need to make sure I'm not gonna tap into the top of the piston. So from what I can see, the hole I drilled through, the spark plug hole, is about 3/4 of an inch thick right there. So I'm touching that right there. So I gotta move to the center and then go down through the spark plug hole till I touch the piston. Oh yeah, plenty of room. The piston's probably 2.5 inches from top dead center. So we're going to dip our tip in grease again, just like so. And now that we are certain that we have the room, we're gonna go ahead and go on through this hole. And you can see by the angle that that hole is not straight up and down. So I'm gonna screw this in as far as I can by hand, just to make sure. It's coarse thread, but I just wanna make sure in that aluminum I'm not cross-threading anything. All right, let's finish tapping this thing, shall we? All right, I just went through into the combustion chamber. Yep, I'm completely through. Hopefully it brings out the majority of all these aluminum shavings. That's the idea anyway. If it don't, they're going out the tailpipe, for Pete's sake. All right, so we've got our installation tool taped onto a socket. Now what I'm quarreling with right now is how to keep this on here. And I'm thinking of possibly putting like a sacrificial piece of tape around it. I believe that's what I'm going to do. Yep, I believe that's what I'm going to do. We got our high strength thread locker. Now, I'll be honest with you. I really don't know what to expect. Oh, I guess I need to cut that open. I really don't know what to expect. I don't know at what point, I guess I could find out what temperature this stuff lets go at. But that is a bridge that we'll cross day after yesterday. But I'm just putting it on there, you know what I mean? Gotta be better than nothing, right? It's gotta be. I'm gonna see about starting this by hand. And I'm gonna feel when I think it started, and I'm gonna give it a little bit of a tug. I'm trying my best to get the angle right. All right, let's see what we got. What'd you do with my ratchet? For Pete, I found it. All right, it's in there because it's not on the bottom of my tool. So all we can do is go at it. Now I'm gonna screw it in what I feel like is close to the thickness of the insert itself. And then I'm gonna pull this back out, shine a light down in there and see what I got. Ooh, my hand's cramping. Speaking of seeing what I got, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. Oh yeah, boy, that is dead on the money. What do you think about that? Now I'll get a better look at it and see if I can tell. Focus. See if I can tell how much is sticking up above the beginning of the threads, and sort of guess really at how much farther down it needs to go. So this is what we have. I think it's as far down there as it needs to go. We can't go too far because we don't want to go, we don't want the spark plug sticking too far down through the combustion chamber, let the piston hit it. So I'm gonna get this thing's been sitting here for I don't know how long, 45 minutes or so. We're gonna go ahead and put the spark plug in it, put this thing back together. So I just figured out why the camera's had such a hard time focusing, and that is totally my bad. I thoroughly apologize for that, but no, I am not remaking this video. I had apparently mistakenly hit the zoom button, and it did not want to focus, but it's fixed now. Yeah. Let it go. That's what I figured you would do. Lost my socket. Please stand by. I'm back. Can't see nothing. Uh-oh. The easiest part may have turned into the hardest one. Let me get in here and take a better look at just what it is exactly we're dealing with in here. I got room. Let me get a pair of these, my jobbers right here. I love playing with this thing. It is so much fun. Do I have room? I may not have room. So, I didn't think about this part. So what has happened is the hole is just enough out of alignment that the socket has now mashed itself against the inside of the hole and the spark plug itself. So what do? So what we can do, we can back plug and all out and use a different socket. That's what we can do. That's what we can do. Let's do that. All right, so I'm gonna start it with the original socket, and then I'm gonna switch to a smaller diameter socket and see if that helps me out any at all. Yep, that'll do it. I'll tell you what. Let's put this curl in first. What size is that? If I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be, I think, a 7mm, but it is no longer a 7mm. It is now a quarter, I believe. Since I put that new intake on it, those bolts changed. Plug her curl in. What is that, 10mm? Yeah. Let's go ahead, stick this under here first. You go down here. You go right there. And fillets, that is going to do it. I believe it was successful every step of the way. And if it's not, believe me, I will make a video about it. I was really hoping I would never have to make this video, but I did. So if this helped you out, make sure to drop me a comment down below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Don't cost you one red penny. Helps me out a lot, man. Make me so happy. Have to sit on my hands just to keep them clapping about it. That'll do it. So till next time, y'all go do some work.
Pathways extend.